Good morning and welcome to your collective worship. My name's Matt. I'm the children's worker for All Saints Marlow. And I've heard that you've been talking about Moses and specifically what Moses has been doing when he was in Egypt. So let's have a quick recap of everything that Moses has been up to.
This is Moses, who was an Israelite born in Egypt in a time when Israelite boys were not supposed to live.
Wait, huh?
Moses, however, grew up in the palace of the Pharaoh, the very man who was enslaving the Israelite people. When Moses grew up, he made a big mistake.
Uh-oh.
So Moses ran away from Egypt to the land of Midian. After many years, an angel of the Lord appeared to Moses and told him to go back to Egypt to free the Israelites. After much protesting, God granted Moses his brother Aaron to speak on his behalf. So Moses went to Egypt. And on his way there, he met Aaron, who was ready to do whatever God wanted him to do. The Israelites were slaves to the Egyptians, but God had a special plan for Moses.
Hey, everyone,
After rallying God's people to them, Moses and Aaron went to the Pharaoh. And said, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, has said. Let my people go." And Pharaoh made the Israelites work harder because of this.
Huh?
The foremen of the Israelite slaves were angry with Moses and Aaron for causing this trouble. So Moses cried out to God and asked why this was happening. But God said, "You will see what I will do. I am the Lord. I will deliver you from slavery."
Wow, okay. Hey!
Moses told this to the people,
Hey!
but they were so discouraged that they didn't listen to him. God told Moses to go to Pharaoh and to do exactly as he said. So Moses and Aaron went to the Pharaoh.
Hey!
God told them to take the staff and throw it down before Pharaoh.
Huh?
Pharaoh was not impressed. He called his wise men and sorcerers, and they did the same thing.
Hooga.
But Aaron's staff swallowed up the sorcerer's staff. Yet Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he would not listen to them.
Shoot.
Just as God had said. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go to the banks of the Nile River and meet Pharaoh."
Hey, Pharaoh!
Moses and Aaron did just as God had said. But again, Pharaoh's magicians did the same miracle, and Pharaoh refused to let God's people go. So God sent 9 more plagues to Egypt to show his power. Even with all the suffering, Pharaoh's heart stayed hard, and he would not let the people go. On the night of the last plague, Pharaoh woke up and heard a great cry in Egypt. For there was not a house in Egypt where someone was not dead. Pharaoh summoned Moses and Aaron and told him to be gone with the Israelites. So the Israelites left Egypt immediately and made their way to the Promised Land, taking with them many riches from Egypt, and they took Joseph's bones as they had promised him many years before. But after they had gone, Pharaoh changed his mind and readied his army to take back the Israelites. When the Israelites saw Pharaoh and his armies come, they were terrified. But God made a way for them. Through all of this, the Israelites saw the great power of their God, the one true God, and they put their trust in Moses, his servant.
Wow, so Moses has been through loads. He's had to deal with plagues, he's had to deal with famine, he's had to deal with God asking him to do stuff and nobody believing him. But the one thing that we learn from this is that every time that Moses listens to God, God supports him. God spoke to him right at the beginning of the burning bush and he said, Moses, I've got a plan for you. And Moses said, I need help. So God sent his brother Aaron. When Moses went in front of Pharaoh, he needed to prove something. He said, God, I need help. And God provided him with miracles to show what was going on. God provided him with strength, with patience to get through and get all the way to the end. And the Egyptians and Pharaoh just consistently stopped listening to him. But God was always there and he was always pushing Moses to be the best person that he could be. By the end of the story, all of Moses' people listened to him. They followed him. Moses took them to a safe place and took them away from Egypt, and they all followed him, whereas at the beginning of the story, they didn't want to listen. Moses, by trusting in God, grew to be the best person that he could be. And that is the lesson that we can take from the Passover. That Passover, that last thing that happened in Egypt, is the biggest lesson that we can learn, that we need to follow God, even when times are tough, even when everything seems to be going wrong, even when things hurt, we can follow God and God will lead us and take us to a safe place. It was really hard for everybody in Egypt to have to deal with everything that was going on with Pharaoh and God. But by putting their faith in God, they were able to be free. So the lesson that we can learn from Passover is that we need to trust God, even when it's tough, even when it doesn't feel like God is there. If we wait and listen to God and keep praying and keep our faith, God will lead us out. So I just want to pray for you guys, and I hope to see you really soon. Dear God, I thank you for this school. I thank you for their faith and their learning of you. Lord, I pray that you stay with them. I pray that you give them patience and wisdom to know you and to know how much you love them.